If you haven't already, go ahead and take the time to subscribe. I hope everybody's having a great day. So let's jump into it. Kadada Jones. That's not a name I haven't heard in a very long time. And even when I did hear her name back in the day, I was too young to care about who she really was. I mean, she was a grown woman when I was a little kid. Whenever she was going around town with, I won't say, everybody, but when her relationship with her and Tupac became pretty popularized. Fun fact, I was doing some research about this. Apparently, the ring that Drake bought of Tupac's had a meaning between Tupac and Kidada. I had no idea about that. But the other thing I find pretty interesting about Kidada, that her ties with not just, Tupac, but with Michael Jackson. You see, most people think that Michael Jackson is pretty soft. And which is kind of weird if you think about it in a sense. Michael Jackson has Joe Jackson as a dad, a man who is a boxer, entertainer, steel worker, and he had to work his way up in Gary, Indiana, one of the roughest parts of the Americas that you could think of. Michael Jackson had multiple brothers that probably he was jealous of, and he had to fight daily. So the idea of Michael Jackson not knowing how to fight and not being tough, growing up in that environment, is kind of laughable considering how competitive they are. You could go back and watch multiple documentaries. Heck, even the movie The Jacksons, The American Dream, you'll see where, I forgot which brother it was, Joe was coaching his son to fight. He wasn't trying to hide him. He wanted all his sons to know how to fight because the world is tough. And even Michael Jackson threw hands with a monkey, of all things, which I thought was pretty odd.
And I'll never forget, the kids was playing with Bubbles, so Bubbles bit Jay.
Bubbles is the monkey.
It's the monkey. Bubbles bit Jay on his arm. And Jay said, "Dad, he bit me." And Michael said, "He did what?" He said, "Bubba, did you bite him?" He said, Michael said, bam, slapped him to his knees. And Bubba said, I said, "What is he doing?" Michael said, "Praying for his life, because he know he did the wrong thing."
So Michael Jackson beat up Bubbles.
He hit him with an 8-piece.
With an 8-piece?
Yeah, 8-piece. Mike was fast.
Really?
Oh my God.
But monkeys are really strong though.
Yeah, but he couldn't mess with Mike. Mike hit him so fast, man, he was down on his knees, praying for his life.
Just beat the crap out of Bubbles.
He hit him with an 8-piece. Like Mayweather hit Pacquiao.
Now that's one of the things right there that you have to be a pretty brave person. I don't care if you train the monkey yourself or not. You gotta be pretty brave and confident to throw hands with a monkey. Now keeping in mind that, there have been reports of monkey ripping women's face off. I'll never forget that. Monkeys are strong, they're primal. And for you to just slap it up really fast like that for 8-piece is wild. I kind of wish I would have seen it. I'm not advocating for animal cruelty in any way, shape, or form. But it's a sight of Michael Jackson throwing hands with a monkey. When a monkey has the reflexes of 2 times that of a normal human, it's something I would just love to see. So you have Michael Jackson, his rough upbringing, being in entertainment, always being in the spotlight, which breeds jealousy. So it means he had to fight. And supposedly Michael Jackson is one of the few people that actually threw hands with Joe. Again, Joe was a trained boxer. But then you have Tupac. Now Tupac has a facade of being one of the toughest gangsters of all time, right? A gangster, a poet, all this kind of stuff after. And I'm not going to take away from what Tupac would have put out there in the world, but when you hear interviews of Michael Jai White talking about, Tupac was a theater kid. He wasn't tough. He was just very well mannered and all this other kind of stuff. But whenever other people saw him, recognized him, that's when that tough guy crap came out. Well, I still never forget this interview with Tupac when he was 17 years old. This is the Tupac that Jada was apparently madly in love with and compared Will Smith to.
Okay, my name is Tupac Shakur, and I attend Tampapai High School, and I'm 17 years old.
What do you think is the hardest thing about being a kid or being your age?
The hardest thing about being my age is proving to society that I understand what's going on. Like, not everybody, but frequently teenagers are stereotyped in being loud music loving, girl chasing, car wanting, not caring about the world, cokeheads, drinking coke and smoking and being drug addicts, and I mean, in some ways we are. I mean, I chase girls and want the car and loud music, but I like to think of myself as really being socially aware, and not just socially aware as being trendy, you know, being peace. Not that. I really think that that teenagers, they got a lot of responsibilities and a lot of burdens because, in fact, we're not a lot of good things. So I think we deserve a little bit more respect.
And why do you think it is that adults don't give you the respect you deserve?
See, they're scared. They're scared of watching us grow up.
You know, this version of Tupac, this seemed very nice. I probably won't get slapped for saying this, a little feminine, but he did seem, it's the direct opposite of what he became 5 years later.
They're scared that when we get the power or responsibilities that we won't be able to handle it, and they're scared that well, I don't think in this generation, I don't think that a lot of adults put enough into their children. I'm glad my mother did, but I don't think that a lot of children are growing up lost in the sauce, and I think that they're scared because they're realizing it now that I didn't teach them this, I didn't teach them that. We didn't learn it. Look at unsafe sex and drugs. You can tell if you look at the statistics, they're staggering again, you know. And so I think they're scared because they're realizing that they goofed, they really messed up, and also they fear teenagers are angry. At least this generation seems a little angrier than me and a little bit more rebellious and uninvolved. So this,
you know, it kind of makes me curious. Did Tupac gravitate to the whole entire thug life thing because he didn't necessarily have a father figure around? You know, he mentions his mother a lot, you know, in his songs, in his interview. You know more about his mother than any other man that's been in his life. So whenever he finally starts to get on and he's around all these rappers and thugs and criminals, I think a part of him is kind of absorbed that absorbed that, and that became him. He became those men that he didn't have growing up. It was the wrong men that he kind of gravitated to that took him in.
Scared because they're realizing that, you know, what's going to happen when we get all these people in power. But also just because it's human nature to be scared to watch a child grow up, and you don't want to give them that yet.
You know, come to think of it, Drake and Tupac actually have a lot in common. So I can understand why Drake likes Tupac so much, because Pac was a theater kid, a very articulate, intelligent theater kid, and essentially so is Drake, that became rappers that put on a persona or a facade that this wasn't necessarily them at their core.
Well, what do you see are some of the major differences between being a kid or being an adult?
I was funny being a kid. Like my little cousin, Hiroji, he's 3, and everything to him is happy. The only thing that makes him unhappy is when things are over, when you turn something off, and when the television goes off, when it's time to go to bed, or when he has to come in the house. Everything is over. That's bad, you know. And when you're an adult, when something is over, that's like, it's the opposite. You know, when it's over, it's good. You know, you just, I'm off work, it's over. You know, vacation, it's over. Oh, God, she's out of the house. My children in college, it's over. Oh my God. And so it's that difference. And children see things so great. If the world could, what happens is that adults complicate things, and children don't. It's simple as this: the sky is blue. And adults, when they go, the sky is blue. Why is it blue? Because birds and bees and everything wasn't meant to be analyzed. And that's where a lot of problems came in, I think. And that's where I think kids are happier. Kids are definitely happier and more relaxed than adults.
Do you think if parents or adults had happier childhoods, they would be better off when they grow up? I mean, like a lot of people say, if you have a troubled childhood, you lack self-esteem when you grow up.
No, actually, I think it's, well, okay, from my mother's point, well, if you grew up happy, too happy, you know, like in fairy tale land, not fairy tale, I mean, if you grew up where, you know, every Christmas you got a present, and every birthday you got a present, and every holiday was a holiday, and everything was peachy. Your parents took care of everything, and you just grew up. I don't think that prepares you for the world. You know, my mother had a really bad childhood, and my father had a bad childhood, and I had a bad childhood, but I love my childhood. Even though it was bad, I love it. I feel like it's taught me so much, and I feel like nothing can faze me. You know, nothing in this world, nothing can surprise me. It might set me back, but only momentarily, only to spring back. And I think it's helped me to learn. It really did help me to learn. And since my mother had a bad childhood.
So this is a question. If Tupac didn't get into rap, I'm kind of curious what life he would have took. Was it just been acting? Would you think he would have been a teacher or a philosopher? If he didn't go down that rap path, especially the gangster rap, I'm kind of curious where his life would have went to.
She knows the importance of being honest and the importance of facing each situation as it comes and not dealing in fairy tale land. Being realistic about the problem and analyzing it and solving it. See what you can do to solve it. So if you have a happy childhood, you tend to want your child to have a happy childhood. So you tend to want to keep the bad things out. And I don't think that's good because you don't prepare them for the world.
So basically you have to be realistic with your kids.
Right, you definitely have to be realistic. You should tell them. But don't get the wrong idea. I feel like I'm being gloomy. I don't mean just be like, damn it, it's bad out there. But I mean, when the good things come, and they are going to come, and everybody knows that good things are going to come, and you're going to see them for yourself. You're going to see if they're good. But it's harder to see the bad things, and everybody wants to shield the bad things, and that's where it gets complicated and it gets real rotten. That's when everybody gets surprised and, oh my God, I'm committing suicide. That's too much, overwhelming. If you know about it, it won't be so overwhelming.
Okay. So again, that was the man that Jada was so in love with. The girl who was a kingpin, I think she said. I don't know, she tells a lot of lies. Anyways, near here or there right now. So you see the vast differences of what they grew up with, right? So I'm not surprised whenever I hear about this whole entire Michael Jackson and Tupac getting into it. And this is not a new story. For some reason, it has made a full circle return. This story has been around for at least 5 years. And I found an old video with Teddy Ray. I don't know if you remember him. He was a lot on the, what was that YouTube channel that was founded by Russell Simmons, I want to say. It had Cynthia Luciette on there. Kevin Stage was on there at one point in time too. What was the channel's name? Was it Comedy Central? It was not Comedy Central. It was something. Anyways, he was there in the
Let's get back to the book. So Kadada sitting on Mike's lap, whatever. Pac come in, nigga, big sight on my nigga.
Pat, let me start it over right quick.
Pac, look, right. Oh, let's get back to the book. So Kadada sitting on Mike's lap, whatever. Pac come in, nigga, big sight on my nigga. What's up, Pac, look, right. You just sit on this nigga. And Mike do this. Mike got like to Mike. Look. And so Pac come. The niggas kind of like Pac when we grab Kadada. And so now you got Mike and Kadada. Look, Mike got this arm. Pac got this arm.
Teddy Ray was truly funny. It's a sad that he's gone.
So it's kind of like a little, you know, some little pandemonium going on. Yeah. So we watching, so nigga, Pac move Kadada out the way, Mike step in, Pac swing, Mike dip it, swing back.
Vital parts of the story.
Well, listen, we
explain that.
I'm explaining to you, nigga. Mike, you can't listen. They got Kadada like this, nigga. They got Kadada like this. We talk like that, nigga. You from
I know. Whoa. Not Bobby Womack, nigga. Go ahead.
So they got it.
So
like
Pac pulling this way and
Mike pulling that way. So
yeah.
it was a misunderstanding. They move her out the way. They they join.
So they talking shit.
They join. Pac like, Mike ain't having it. Mike like, nigga, what? So, you know, Pac gonna take off. Pac gonna bomb first, nigga. So Pac's
Did Mike bang folk on Pac?
Man, we was over by the DJ thing. We was coming over, man. We watching shit, so we coming to break it up. And so Mike, nigga, Pac gonna swing. Pac ain't gonna do too much talking. He gonna say something. He swinging first. He gonna bomb. He bombed first. So that nigga swung. Mike dipped it. And Wu gave him one. But then Pac gave him that little thing with the knee. It ain't like this. And we just went to the ground. And we broke it up. And then Pac had a little grass. And, you know, it was a little shake up. It wasn't no scrub, nigga. It was a shake up. But they got down, you know what I'm saying? They think it's funny, man. Spidey was that.
You know, stories like this always kind of makes me curious how much stuff goes on that we never hear or see about, because celebrities tend to be very tight-lipped about things, and you know, social media wasn't as big as it was, right? So a lot of these blind items, you keep hearing about all these outrageous stories, you don't know the source of the blind item, and you hear all these stories and stuff. Most of the time, I believe they're first-hand accounts of celebrities that just want to tell what goes on behind the scenes because they either feel some type of way about it, or they're just, and I mean, it's because they just feel some type of way about it, right? And they just want to clear their conscience. So that's the first story I heard about that. I remember seeing that years ago. Again, that video had Teddy Ray in there, and he's been passed on for about 2 years, I want to say now. So again, this is not a new story that's just coming around. This is just a old story that's making its way back up to the surface. But everybody keeps talking about this guy.
Jackson grew up.
Talking about it.
I mean, watch Quincy Jones' daughters grow up. Fast forward years later, Tupac is dating one of the daughters. I think it was Khadijah. They came out of.
I thought her name was pronounced Kadada. I could be wrong.
Tupac comes out the party, disrespecting Khadijah, like, shut up, come on, shut the up and get in the car. Mike stepped to him, yo, you can't talk to her like that. He was like, Mike, mind your fucking business. Mike was like, no, that's like my niece. You ain't gonna just talk to her like that. Michael Jackson, fucking Tupac start rumbling. Michael Jackson beat his ass.
And that was a very clear, fast-paced story of it compared to the other guy with all the woo-woos and stuff, right? But here we are, the king of pop, with what some would argue the best rapper alive. And they were fighting over a woman that neither one of them was married to. Yes, Michael said that was like his niece. All right, I can believe that. I mean, Michael Jackson always had a very high love and respect for women. Just look how he treated his mother and his sister, especially Janet. And not just Janet, LaToya. Him and LaToya had a really close relationship. So I could see him actually stepping up and saying something if it wasn't being disrespected. It's just interesting because I really don't think that was Pac in that moment. I think that was just Pac putting on that facade, that persona, that fakeness whenever he's out in public. Because, you know, I should have got that clip from Michael J. White when he was talking about how he was playing pool with Pac, and it was, you know, kind of a nerd. He was a nerd, just enjoying himself until he saw other people that recognized him, and then the gangster side of him came out. It kind of makes me wonder, during around that time, you know, Gangster was the biggest thing out there, and he wanted to make sure he kept that facade going. So when he was out there with Kadada Jones, he wanted to make sure he treated her like he would any other woman, like a gangster should. And it's sad. It's sad. Because when people talk about Pac, realistically speaking, they really talk about gangster Pac anymore. They normally talk about, well, besides the conspiracy that he's still alive, they talk about the poet, the philosopher, his wisdom. They talk about all other aspects of Pac except for his gangsterness. So he wasted his life being a gangster. Pac is a very tragic tale. He is a very intelligent man who fell into the wrong crowd. People he looked up to, probably idolized. And he just took it too far. Anyways, that's all I have. If you watch, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate you. Thank you.